All right, go ahead and come onto your mat or wherever it is that you're, whatever surface you're working with, and come into a comfortable seated position. So that can be a lotus, it can be just both legs on the ground, it can be a half lotus, whatever works for you. And when you're comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. Maybe you rest your hands on your knees. You can turn your palms up if you like in yoga nidra, or just leave them down on your knees, whatever you like. You roll your shoulders back and down, and close your eyes. You take a few deep breaths here. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Rotate your shoulders down and back, and then up against your forward, up with your ears, then down and back. And just circle them around a couple times. Yeah, reverse the direction, coming forward now. And gently bow your head forward if you like. Next time your shoulders are forward, go ahead and drop them back into a neutral position. Lift your head up and open your eyes. So before we get into our practice, we're just going to do a test of where we are. Today we're working on hamstrings, so we're going to just check in with our splits, everybody's favorite. So whichever leg you feel is less flexible, put that one in the front. Then go ahead and come into a lunge with the other leg back and your knee on the ground. And this is not an aggressive move, okay, because none of us are warmed up. But if you feel like that's enough in your lunge, then just stay there. If you feel okay there, again, just for testing where we're at, not trying to push ourselves or hurt anything. Shift your hips back and straighten the front leg. And then see if you can scooch the front leg out a little bit, keeping it straight. And then see if you can scooch it out a little bit more, still keeping that leg straight. And go to wherever it feels like, okay, that's good. You know, you don't want to hurt yourself, but you should feel a bit of a stretch. For me, I've got an injury on this side, so I don't go down very far. So this is probably about it for me for now. Again, we're not trying to push it. So just take stock here, take a look, see where you're at. If you're all the way down, good for you. If you're not, good for you. And then just remember that, because we're going to come back to this in a little bit. Go ahead and come up to standing at the top of your mat. We're going to start with our sun salutations as usual. So inhaling, lift your arms up to the sky and look up, and exhaling, hinge at the hips, pull forward. Lift your hands on your shins or on your feet or on the ground. And inhaling, look up and lift up your back, keeping your back flat. Hands go back down to the earth. Your right leg goes to the back of the mat. Left leg goes to the back of the mat, and now you're in plank. So this first time I'll go through all these slowly. So in plank, your shoulders are over the top of your wrists. Your hips are in line with your shoulders, and your legs are straight, pointing back behind you. Exhaling, you're going to come down into a push-up position. So you're going to keep your elbows in, close to your chest, and try to keep your body flat as you come down. Try not to lift your bottom up. And then you're going to come down to wherever you feel comfortable, as low as you can, and still be able to come back up. Flip your toes so you're on the tops of your feet, and then gently raise up your chest and your shoulders. Your legs can be on the ground here. You can be in a little cobra with your arms bent. Or you can be on the tops of your feet. Wherever you are, you want to keep your shoulders away from your ears and keep them back. If you like, you can look up with your head. And tuck your toes under and lift your hips up, going into downward dog. When downward dog, your shoulders are pushing, your hands are pushing away from the earth, your fingers are pointing forward, and your shoulders are pushing back toward the back of your mat. Your hips are pushing up to the sky. Your heels are trying to come to the earth. You can Pedal your legs here, bending one leg at a time, pushing the other heel down. This is our first downward dog, so take it easy. You can think about tucking your chin to your chest and then pushing your chest toward the back of your mat or toward your thighs. Now on your next exhale, just come forward back to plank. So you're going to bring your hips down and bring your body forward. And exhale again and push your hips up to the sky, bring your heels back down, downward dog. Inhaling, come forward, again to plank. And exhaling, hips up into downward dog. Inhale, forward to plank. And exhale again to downward dog. One more time, just like that. Inhaling, come forward to plank. And exhaling, push your hips up into downward dog. Your right leg goes up to the side. Bring your right foot forward in between your hands. Left foot forward in between your hands and fold. And inhale, come up to standing with your arms up over your head and look up. Exhale, hands at heart center. Inhaling, look up. Exhaling, fold. Bring your hands down from wherever you can see. Inhale, look up with a flat back. Exhaling, your left foot goes to the back of the mat, right foot to the back of the mat, and you're in plank. And exhale to chaturanga or push-up. Inhale to upward dog or cobra. Tuck your toes under. And then you can do another chaturanga here if you like, or go straight to downward dog. And we'll stay here for another couple breaths. Again, think about pushing your heels down toward the earth. Your feet are about hip distance apart, so they shouldn't be to the edges of your mat. They should be straight behind your arms, your shoulders, or your hands should be shoulder distance apart. Your left leg now is going to go up to the sky. Inhaling, come forward, bring that left foot in between your hands, throw right foot in between your hands and fold over. And inhale, come up to standing. And exhale your hands to your heart. Inhaling, look up. Exhaling, fold over. Inhale, look up. Exhale, right leg to the back of the mat, left leg to the back of the mat, come down into a push-up. Inhale, push up. Upward dog, and then exhale, downward dog. Sometimes I sway to the music. I'm so moved. Alright, on your next exhale, bring your right leg up to the sky, bring your right foot forward in between your hands. Left foot forward in between your hands and fold. And inhaling, come all the way up to standing. And raise your arms up over your head and look up. And then hands to your heart center. One more sun salutation. Inhaling, look up. Exhaling, roll forward. Inhaling, look up and flatten your back. Exhaling, left leg goes to the back of the mat. Right leg goes to the back of the mat. And come down to a push-up position. Flip your toes. And come into upward dog with cobra. Tuck your toes under. Again, you can do another chaturanga if you like, or go straight back into downward dog. Just a couple breaths. On your next exhale, bring your left leg up to the sky. Come forward, bring your foot forward, place it in between your hands. Your right foot comes forward and you fold. And inhaling to standing with your arms up over your head, and then exhale your hands to heart center. So now we're going to go into series B, for sun salutation of feet. So you're gonna inhale, come down to a seated position basically. You're gonna sit your bottom back, trying to keep your knees over the top of your feet so you don't want your knees coming way forward. Your heels are still on the ground. You can use your arms to measure kind of the right distance. Your knees are together, your feet are together, or maybe just slightly apart. And exhaling, fold forward. Inhale, look up. Right leg goes to the back of the mat, left leg to the back of the mat. Come into a push-up position. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale to downward dog. Right leg goes up to the side. Bring the right foot forward. Spin your left heel down. This is warrior one. So we're not going to be here for that long, but remember your front knee is bent such that the knees over the top of the ankle. Your back leg is straight. You're putting weight into the outer edge of the back foot. Your hips are facing forward. They're not open out to the side. So everything's forward. You can leave your hands on your hips or bring them up to the sky. You can clasp your hands if you like. So you look up. And exhaling, place your hands on either side of that foot. Right leg goes to the back of the mat. Come into push-up. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left leg up to the sky. Bring the left foot forward. Come into warrior one on this side. So left foot is forward, toes pointing forward. Your knee over the top of your ankle. Back leg is straight. Weight going into the outer edge of that back foot. Hips are facing forward. And then bring your hands up. Exhale, both hands on either side of that front foot. Left foot goes back. Push up. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale to downward dog. Inhale your right leg up to the side. Bring your right foot forward. Bring your left foot forward and fold. And inhaling, switch your bottom down to chair. And then all the way up to standing. You do a little back bend at the top if you like. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhaling, put your bottom down into chair. Try to keep your chest up if you can. Exhaling, fold forward. Inhaling, look up. Left leg goes to the back of the mat. Right leg to the back of the mat. Come down into push-up. And inhale to upward dog. Exhaling, either an extra chaturanga or straight back into downward dog. Right leg up to the sky, bring your right foot forward. Then the back heel down, come into warrior one. Exhaling, take the right foot back to the back of the mat and stay in plank for a second. We're going to stay with our shoulders over our wrists. Bring that right knee into your chest. Push your shoulder blades up. And really try to bring that knee up toward your chest, not down toward your mat, but up. And then exhale, back to downward dog. With the right leg up to the sky. Then come forward again. Bring the right leg forward and bring it to your right elbow. Again, your back is curved. Now you're going to extend that back, or that leg back up to the sky in downward dog with the lifted right leg. And then come back forward one more time. Bring that right knee to your left elbow. And then back to downward dog with the right leg in the sky. Put the right leg down to the left, next to the left leg. Inhaling, left leg goes up to the sky. Bring your left foot forward and place it in between your hands. Rotate your back heel down, warrior one. Exhale, hands on either side of that foot. Take the left foot to the back of the mat and stay in plank. You're going to do the same thing on this side. So you're going to bring your left knee in and up. So again, you're pushing with your hands into the ground. Curve your back. Take your shoulder blades up to the ceiling. Try to keep that knee nice and high. And then exhaling, go into downward dog with the left leg up to the sky. Inhaling, come forward again. Left knee to left elbow. Exhaling, left leg to the sky and downward dog. One leg is downward dog. Inhaling, come forward with the left knee. Bring the left knee to your opposite elbow. And exhaling, back to downward dog with the left leg up to the sky. Bring the left leg down to meet the right. Bring downward dog for just one breath. Inhale your left leg to the side. Bring the left foot forward. Bring the right foot forward and fold. And inhale, up to chair. Same for one breath, and then inhaling all the way up to standing. Maybe a little back bend, hands to prayer. One more round. Inhaling, sit down to chair. Exhale and forward. Inhale and look up. Right leg to the back of the mat. Left leg to the back of the mat. Come down to push up. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale to downward dog. Take your right leg to the side. Come forward. Bring your right knee forward. Again, your shoulders are over the top of your wrist. You're pushing your shoulder blades up to the side. We're just going to do windshield wiper just for a couple breaths here. So your knee is going to go to the right and to the left. Just swinging, trying to keep your upper body steady. And in that plank position, with the scapula pushing up, your shoulder blades pushing up to the sky. One more round. And exhaling, right leg up to the side and one-legged downward dog. Come forward one more time, right foot in between your hands. Turn the back heel down and come into warrior one. And exhale, hands on either side of that foot. Right leg goes back. Push up. Inhaling to upward dog. Exhaling to downward dog. Now your left leg is in the sky. Going to come forward into plank and bring that left knee with you. Taking a just windshield wiper here for a few breaths. So you're taking that knee from one elbow to the other elbow and back. Pushing really hard in your hands to keep your shoulder blades up toward the sky. One more. And push back to downward dog with that left leg up in the sky. Come forward, bring the left leg with you, put the left foot on the ground. Rotate your back heel down and come into warrior one. And exhale, hands on either side of that foot. Left leg goes back. Come into a push-up. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale to downward dog. Just stay here for a couple breaths. Hope you guys are feeling warm. Right leg up to the sky. And come forward. Bring your right foot forward. Bring your left foot forward. And sit in Utkatasana chair. Exhaling, fold forward. And inhale, come all the way up to standing. Maybe a little back bend. And hands to prayer at your heart. Inhaling, look up. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, look up and flatten your back. Exhale, right leg to the back of the mat. Left leg to the back of the mat. Come into chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale to downward dog. Put your right leg up to the sky. Bring your right leg forward in warrior one again. And we're going to stay here for a second. So again, your hips are facing forward. Your right knee is over the top of your right ankle. The toes of your right foot are facing forward. Your left leg is straight. The foot is angled in around 45 to 60 degrees. Your weight is on the outer edge of that back foot and then on the front foot. Hips facing forward, hands are either on your hips or up over your head. See if you can sink your hips down just a little bit, trying to bring that front leg, that front thigh parallel to the earth. Your gaze can be straight ahead of you or it can be up. You can even, if you desire, do a back bend, but I'm not going to. Make sure you're still breathing. You're going to bring your hands to prayer your heart, and now I'm going to open up our hips to the side. You may want to inch that back foot back a little bit. We're going to warrior two. So now your hips are pointed to the side. The legs are pretty similar to where they just were. And your arms are just going to be at shoulder level. One arm extending in front of you, your right arm, and the other arm extending behind you. Your gaze traditionally is forward. So you can go ahead and take a peek back at your back arm. Make sure it's not doing anything crazy. And then see if you can get your hips down just a little bit more. A little tilt of the tailbone here, tucking under, can help. On your next exhalation, I want you to go ahead and rotate your side down. So you're bringing your right ribs towards your right thigh. You can either place your right elbow onto your right thigh. We're going for side angle here. Or you can bring your right hand down to the ground inside that right leg. Kind of rotate so that your left hip is almost over the top of your right hip, and that your left shoulder is on top of directly above your right shoulder. Your left arm can go up to the sky, or it can come up by your ear toward the front of the room. Remember to keep that front knee bent and the back leg straight. Your gaze can be down, it can be up at your hand, it can be up at the ceiling. And next, inhale, come all the way up to warrior two again. Try, if you can, not to straighten that front leg, then you're in warrior two. Rotate your hips back toward the front and bring the back heel, so the heel of your left foot up toward the sky. This is crescent, so your hips are facing forward just like in warrior one. Your front knee is bent, the back leg is straight, but now you're on the ball of that back foot instead of having the foot down. Your hands can stay on your hips or come up. Just a couple breaths, I promise. Bring your hands to prayer at your heart. You're going to lean forward gently. Kind of bring your torso over that front leg. Take your left elbow and see if you can get it to the outside of that knee. If you can get towards your armpit, that'll be a little bit deeper, but you don't need to. Now you're in this twisted position where your left armpit is close to your right knee. You keep your hands at prayer. You can straighten your arms. You can bind if you feel like it. Wherever you are, try to bring your hands to prayer. You're going to lean forward even more. See if you can lift that back leg up. If you can lift that back leg up, see if you can bring it in. So your knees are next to each other, and then extend it back again. Your right leg is still on the ground, your knees bent. So your left leg, you can, you're just going to come in and out. In and out. In and out. In and out. If you like, when you bring it back out, you can put it on the ground. In and out. Now, put both hands on the ground. Straighten that right leg. Keep your left hand on the ground. Keep your left leg up in the air. And then see if you can rotate your upper body toward the leg that's on the ground and raise your right arm up to the ceiling. Trying to stack that right shoulder over the top of your left if you can. Whew. Almost there. All right, when you're ready, bring the other hand, the hand that was in the air, back to the earth. Just for 1 second, see if you can do a standing split here. So try to raise your left leg up, however high it'll go, just for a breath. And then go ahead and place that left foot to the back of your mat, right foot to the back of your mat. Now you're in plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, to downward dog. Inhale your right leg to the sky, bring the right foot forward, bring the left foot forward and fold. And inhale, come all the way up to standing, maybe a little back bend, and then hands to prayer. We just got to do all that on the other side. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhaling, fold forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, left leg to the back of the mat. Right leg to the back of the mat. come down into a sit-up position. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky. Bring the left foot forward. Turn the back heel down. Warrior one. Easy, right? The first part of the sequence. I love it. So the front knee over the top of the ankle. Your hips are facing forward. The back leg, your right leg is straight with weight on the outer edge of that back foot. The foot is angled in around 45 or 60 degrees. Your hands can stay on your hips or come up to the sky. You can clasp them, whatever you like. You can look up or straight ahead. Isn't the second side always worse because you know it's coming? But we're going to do it, and we're going to love it. Just a couple more breaths here. Bring your hands to prayer at your heart. Rotate your hips out again. You might need to scooch that back leg back just a little bit. Push your open to the side. Arms come up at about shoulder level. Try to keep that front knee bent. You can check out your right arm if you want. Make sure it's not doing anything mischievous. And then gaze is forward. So wherever your neck feels comfortable. One thing here, sometimes people tend to lean forward with their upper body. Try not to do that. Just keep your upper body straight over your hips. Just a couple more breaths. On your next exhale, you're going to go into side angle. So you can bring that left knee to the left thigh, if that feels good. If you're happy there, you can bring that left hand down to the ground in front, inside your front leg. You can try to bring your armpit against that knee. Rotate your shoulders up so that your right shoulder is over the top of your left shoulder. Your right arm can go up to the sky. You can angle by your ear. You can look up or straight in front of you or down, whatever feels good. Couple more breaths. Try to keep that left buttock engaged and tucked under that hip. All right, on your next exhale, come up to warrior two again, trying to keep that front leg bent. Now we're going to rotate that back knee toward the ground, come into crescent. So our hips are going to face forward. The ball of the right foot is on the ground. The heel of the right foot is up toward the sky. Keep your hands on your hips or bring them up. Just staying here for a couple breaths. See if you can bring your hips just a little bit lower. Okay. Hands to prayer at the heart. You're going to lean forward. You may want to scooch that back foot in just a little bit. And now you're going to twist. You're going to bring your right elbow, if you can, outside of that thigh, your left thigh. You're going to lean forward and see if you can lift that right leg up off the ground. You can do that, then bring that right knee in, and then push it out. And again, when you push it out, you can put it on the ground if you like. Just going to do that a few more times. So in and out. 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 One more time. In and out. Now, keeping that leg up, place both hands onto the ground in front of your left foot. You're going to keep your right hand down. Rotate your shoulders to bring the left arm up to the sky in twisted half moon. So the right leg is going to stay up, hopefully somewhere around hip level. Lower is okay. If you need to put it on the ground, that's also okay. And take a few deep breaths here. Bring your left hand onto the ground, keeping both hands on the ground in front of your foot. See if you can bring the right leg up to the sky in a standing split-ish position. Try to bring your chest down closer to the front leg. All right, right foot, oh my gosh, to the back of the mat. Left foot to the back of the mat, you're in plank. Come down into push-up position. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, you can do another chaturanga here if you want or not. Straight to downward dog. Oh my goodness. Woo. You can kind of pedal your legs there a little bit if you want. Shake them out. Woo. Left leg to the sky. Bring the left foot forward. Bring the right foot forward and fold. Inhaling up to standing. Hands to prayer at the heart. I forgot to mention my child's pose disclaimer at the beginning. You can always go into child's pose any old time. Child's pose is lovely. You shouldn't feel bad about it if you do it. Okay, inhale, hands up to the sky. Exhaling, go forward. Inhale, look up. Right leg to the back of the mat. Left leg to the back of the mat. Now, stay here in plank for a second. We're going to do some push-ups. So, if you want to put your knees down, that's totally fine. The key is to try to keep your upper body and your hips in line. So if it takes putting your knees down to do that, great. Wherever you are, we're going to do 5, slow and controlled. So down and up. Down and up. Down and up. Down and up. One more. Down and up. And now push back into downward dog. Take your right leg up to the sky. Bring your right foot forward and place it in between your hands. We're going to go into pyramid. So you can bring that left leg in just a little bit if you want. You know, some people do this in a very narrow stance. That's fine if you like that. I prefer it a little bit wider. It's just personal preference. Wherever you are, come up to standing. So your right foot is facing forward. Your right toes are facing forward. The left foot, the toes are angled in a little bit closer to straight ahead than they are in the warrior position. Hands on your hips, you're going to lean forward. Try to bring your chest parallel with the earth. And then just pause there for a breath. Trying to keep your back flat so you're not curved. And now go ahead and put your hands either on blocks if you've got them, or onto your shin, or onto your foot, or onto the ground, whatever is accessible to you. Again, trying to keep your back flat. See if you can aim your head toward beyond the front toes. So beyond the front edge of your mat if you can. Keeping that back flat. So again, that's different from trying to place your head onto your knee, in which case you get a lot of curvature in your spine. All right, when you're ready, you're going to rotate that back foot out a little bit so that it's almost 90 degrees compared to your front foot. Keep your right hand onto your shin or your foot or the mat, wherever it is. Rotate your shoulders open. We're going for triangles. So you're stacking your left hip on top of your right hip. You may want to move that back leg back just a little bit compared to where you just were. And then bring your left arm up to the sky. Try to see if you can open your chest up toward the sky a little bit and bring that left shoulder back. Almost like you're doing a little bit of a back bend here.
That's serious shit.
bring that left hand to your hip, bring your right hand to your hip, and turn your hips forward, swivel that back heel up again into crescent. So we've been here before. So the right leg is bent, the left leg is straight, the heel is up toward the sky, the back heel is up toward the sky, and you're on the ball of the left foot. Now, keep your hands on your hips, keep them on your front leg, or raise them up to the sky. We're just going to go down and up a few times. So 1, you're going to bring your knee almost touching to the ground, and then straighten that leg back. 2, 3, 4, one more. Go ahead and put your hands down on either side of that foot, the front foot. Take the right foot to the back of the mat. Come into a push-up position. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Take your right leg to the sky. Bring the right foot forward. Bring the left foot forward and fold. And inhale, come up to standing. Inhale, raise your arms up to the sky. Exhaling, fold forward. Left leg to the back of the mat, right leg to the back of the mat, you're in plank. So before we move on, do a little exercise that we've done before. I don't know if everybody was here. You're going to come down to your left forearm, down to your right forearm, back to your left hand, back to your right hand. So forearm, forearm, hand, hand. You're going to try as best you can to keep your upper body relatively steady. You're not wiggling all around. So just do a couple more rounds like that. So we're going left and then right. Both going down and coming up. One more. And push your hips back into downward dog. Inhale, your left leg up to the sky. Bring the left foot forward. We're going to pyramid on this side. So again, you can keep your stance fairly wide if you like, or you can bring that right foot in just a little bit. Bring your hands to your hips, come up to standing. And now lean forward, bending at the hips to bring your back flat. Your chest is parallel to the earth. Just stay there for a couple of breaths. And now, take both hands either to your shin, or to blocks, or to your foot, or to the ground, whatever is comfortable. And again, think about straightening and lengthening your spine, aiming your head out beyond the front of your mat and beyond your front toes. On your next inhalation, you're going to rotate that back leg so that your toes are almost at a 90-degree angle with your front toes. You're going to rotate your hips so that your right hip comes over the top of your left hip. You tuck that left butt cheek under. Stack your shoulders so the right shoulder's on top of the left shoulder. Your right arm extends up to the sky. See if you can bring that right shoulder back a little bit and stay there for a few minutes. And bring both hands to your hips, and then rotate your hips forward again. Come onto the ball of that right foot, bend your front knee, go back into crescent again. Keep the hips facing forward. Your hands can stay on your hips, or be at your side or on your side, or up to the sky. And when you go down and up, just 5 times. So knee comes almost to the ground, and then straighten. Almost to the ground, and then straighten. Front knee remains bent the whole time. 2 more. Perfect. Hands hands on each side of that front leg. Left foot goes back. Go into push-up position. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left leg to the side. Bring the left foot forward. Bring the right foot forward. And fold. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. You can heel toe your feet out just a little bit so they're hip distance apart if you like. You're trying to draw the top of your head toward the mat. Not necessarily toward the chin, but toward the mat. You think about extending your spine all the way down. Now, if you want, you can grab your big toes, or you can just put your hands on the ground or on your shins or on your feet, on the block, whatever's around you. And then just focus on trying to extend your head down toward the ground. You can put your weight in the front of your toes, pushing your hips up to the side. And then inhale, come all the way up to standing. And exhale your hands to heart center. Okay, we're going to try something new. See if you like it or not. I don't know. I'm going to show it to the side here so you can see. So what you're going to do is you're going to start from standing. You're going to sit down. And then you're going to roll onto your back and bring your legs up over your head. And then you're going to come forward. So you're going to use your hands to push on the ground. You're going to come forward and come up to standing without using your hands as you stand, if possible. That's what we're working toward. Now, you might need to give yourself a little push at the end. So be gentle. This is not a time to twist and hurt things. But you're going to, from standing, so watch one more time. From standing, you're going to sit down. You're going to bring your legs up over your head. Your hands are on the ground. And you're going to bring your legs forward and then put the feet on the ground and come up without using your hands. Now, if you put your arms in front of you, I know it's hard, but just something to work on. As you're coming forward, it's all about timing. It's all about the timing and the momentum. So as you're coming forward, if you think about extending your hands in front of you as you come up, that'll bring your weight forward. So I'll do it one more time here. See where my hands are? They're really forward as you're pushing up. I know, it's hard. But it's kind of fun. I like it. As you're coming up, you want to not have your legs too far apart from each other. If your legs are like this, it'll be very hard to get up. But it's also really, really hard with your feet right next to each other. That's nearly impossible. So I have them about hip distance apart. Just going to see if anybody's managing. Kind of a fun thing to do. Yes, Morgan, amazing. Look at you guys are amazing. I don't know how to pronounce your name. H-T-E-T, well done. Man, amazing. Hi. Okay, you guys are all stars. Well done. You can do one or two more if you like. I just think it's a fun thing to do. You can, if you're bored of that, you can straddle your legs at the back and then try to bring them forward. I think it's actually a little bit harder to do it that way. Okay, probably looks like people are tired of that. Okay, we'll move on. Let's do, while we're off of our mats, let's do the next thing that is going to require being off of our mats. So I'm going to go to this wall that you can see behind me. You might want some sort of padding under your knees, especially if you're on hardwood. You can take your mat and just fold it over. That is probably sufficient. Or if you have like a sweatshirt or something you can put under your knee. Like, it doesn't have to be fancy. So we're going to start with whichever side. Remember how you picked a bad side first off on your split? So whichever side that was, that foot is going to be forward. So for me, that was my right foot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left knee and I'm going to place it You see that? So my knee is pretty much right next to the wall. My foot is going straight up. Okay, it's not inside my hip. It can be outside your hip if you like, that also works. I'm just going to show it on the other side since that side's closer to the pin. So knee up on the wall. So right now this is for me, my right leg back. My left leg is forward. Just kind of in a lunge position. You don't want it to be super far up. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to, again, keep the heel close to your bottom. It can be, again, a little bit to the outside of that hip like mine is, or it can be right, they can be right in front of each other. Your buttock can be right in front of you. What you're going to do is you're going to try to use the front leg, kind of push your hips back. You're trying to get your hips back toward that wall. And then if you can, bring your shoulders to the wall, bring your arms up. But here is also good. So whatever, you're just going for a deep stretch here in the quadricep. So wherever you get to is fine. And then you can take breaks. If you get tired, just kind of come out of it a little bit. It's going to give us like a minute or two here at your own pace. That foot that's on the wall is pushing pretty hard into the wall. If that's too hard for you, you can bring the knee a little bit further away from the wall and it will be a little bit easier. You can go like that. So choose whatever works for you. Take a break if you need to. Maybe try one more time. So when you're ready, what we're going to do now is kind of the opposite. So keep that leg still on the wall as it is. You see if you can bring your hips forward a little bit. You see it's not a huge movement. I'm not going very far. But I'm coming a little bit forward, trying to bring my hips forward and down toward the ground while keeping that front leg, which for me is my left leg, still straight in front of me. You should feel it a little bit more in your psoas if you do that. Another option, if you prefer, is you can bring that back foot to the wall, but your ball of the foot is on the wall, so you're not flat on the top of your foot, but pushing on the wall. And then bring the front leg forward even more. And again, you're trying to just push the hips forward and down, keeping your hips square in front of you. Whichever side you're on, I'm going to suggest now you switch. So we're going to do that first one with your knee, the opposite knee now, up against the wall, with your heel either directly behind your buttock or just to the outside. Your other leg is in front, kind of like in a lunging position. Try to bring your hips, if you can, back to the wall. And here it might be all that you get, and that's perfectly fine. And if you need to pull your knee out away from the wall a little bit, that's also fine. Wherever you are, try to push to the extent that you can, your hips back. And if you're at the wall, bring your shoulders onto the wall, bring your arms up, or keep them at your hips. It doesn't super matter. So all your weight is pushing back toward the wall. You can take a break if you like, or push again. You can come in and out a little bit if you like. Now we're going to go forward. So again, you can keep that back knee right where it is and just so slightly push your hips forward and down. Or you can bring the ball of the foot, that back foot, to the wall, and your front leg out a little bit more into kind of a deeper lunge, and you're just trying to push your hips down and forward. A couple more breaths. Should feel a really nice stretch in that psoas of the back leg. Go ahead and come out of that. Go back to the other side, whichever side you started with, and now do definitely come away from the wall even if you're still on it. So have your front leg in front of you. We're in that same lunge position. The back leg, we're on the top of the foot of the back leg. The front knee is bent. You just want to do this little exercise. So what you're going to do, just now what we were doing was pushing the hips forward and down. What I want you to do is you can put your hands on your front thigh. Just try to engage your core. Tuck your back hip a little bit. I don't know if you can see that movement. I'm really squeezing this buttock and tucking under. And you should feel it even more in this psoas. So my belly is hollowed in. It's almost like I'm curving a little bit in that lower spine. And I'm pushing a lot in my front foot to kind of push back a little bit, but I'm also pushing in my back shin into the ground, so pushing my buttocks to tuck and sucking my belly in to really get a stretch back here. And you don't want to hold it for too long, it kind of hurts. You come out and go forward, and then try again. You're squeezing, pushing back a little bit, squeezing your belly in, squeezing that back buttock. It should feel something. I hope you're feeling something. Okay, relax, and we'll do one more time, and then we'll do the other side. Go ahead and squeeze. Okay, let's do the other side. So switch your legs out. Again, you're kind of in a little bit of a deeper lunge position if you can. And if you're back here, it's also fine. The key is just this movement that we're doing. So the back leg, the foot is flat on the earth. You're pushing into the ground. Your front foot is pushing into the ground. You're going to tuck your hips a little bit under. Really clench that buttock on the side of the back leg. Suck your belly in and hold it for a few seconds. And release. When you release, you can bring your hips forward again. Kind of feels good. 2 more times. So you're going to push back a little bit with that front leg. Clench the buttock on the back leg. Tuck your hips under. Suck your belly in. And release forward. Whew. 1 more time. All right, go. You're going to squeeze your belly in. Squeeze your buttocks. Push with both legs into the ground. Okay, and release forward 1 more time. And go ahead and come out of that. Oh my goodness, how about a child's pose? Let's just take a quick child's pose. If your arms are in front of you in child's pose, you actually use your arms to push your heels, your buttocks, I'm sorry, to your heels. All right, wherever you are, come back to your mat. We're going to do a vinyasa here, and then we'll do some core. So, inhaling, arms up to the side. Exhaling, fold forward. Inhale, lift up. You're going to take your left leg to the back of your mat, right leg to the back of your mat. Before we go down, we have to still do our forearm plank to push up thing on the other side. So last time we went left arm down first. So right arm, right hand, left hand. Right arm, right hand, left hand. So keep going for a few more rounds, just like this. Again, trying to, as best you can, keep your upper body relatively stable. One more round. Left arm, right hand, right hand and push back to downward dog. Take the left leg to the side. Bring the left leg forward. Bring the right leg forward and fold. And inhale all the way up to standing. Exhaling, come back down to one more forward fold. Just for a couple seconds. If you grabbed your toes last time, you can slide your hands underneath your feet if you like. If you can't get down that far, that's totally fine. You just rest your hands on your shins and try to extend your back forward flat. And keeping a long line in your spine is the goal. All right, wherever you are, go ahead and straighten your legs and then come into a seated position. All right, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this. So we're going to do everyone's favorite, of course. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to lay back. Your upper body's on the ground. You're trying to keep contact between your lower back and the ground. Bring your legs up to the side. Bring your hips up. You see how my sacrum? This is my sacrum on the ground. This is my sacrum not on the ground. Your goal is to keep your sacrum off of the ground. Okay? They're really soft. We're going to try. So first thing we're going to do is just bring one leg at a time down a little bit. You see how I can't go, if I try to go all the way to the ground, what happens to my sacrum? My sacrum goes to the earth. So just to like here, and then just switch. And you can lay your head on the ground. The key is to keep your sacrum off of the earth. Now if you feel like that's easy, and you want to keep your shoulders and chest off the ground, do like that. So just remember to keep that sacrum off of the ground. All right, now what we're going to do is going to add an oblique here. So again, you're still trying to keep the sacrum off the ground. Now you're going to add a side crunch every time you bring a knee in. So it's basically like a bicycle, but your sacrum is off the ground. And again, your legs are not going down very far. Just a couple more. Almost there. All right, bring both legs up to the sky. You can put that sacrum on the ground. You're going to bring your shins parallel to the earth, your knees over the top of your hips. Your knees are not towards your chest. Knees are right over the top of your hips. Lift your shoulders up off the ground. Extend your arms out in front of you on either side of your hips. You're just going to rotate side to side. So you're going to take your left arm towards your toes, right arm towards your toes. Left arm towards your toes, right arm towards your toes. And keep your shoulders up off the ground. Oof, okay. Go ahead and put both knees on the ground. Okay, we're going to do one more thing that I think is kind of fun. Hopefully you like it. So basically, you're going to extend your legs out in front of you. And you're going to try to bring your legs up toward plow, but pretty slowly and controlled. And you don't have to go all the way back. If you get to here, that's good. You also can bend your knees. But the key is to go slowly, and then also as you're coming down, you're just very slowly putting your back onto the earth, and then either keeping your knees bent or straightening your legs all the way out in front of you. So, one more time, you're going to either keep your, whatever you like, either your legs are straight or they're bent, and you're going to gently and slowly bring them up over your head. And then once you're there, you're going to slowly bring your spine back till it's flat. And then you're going to slowly bring the legs all the way down. Again, whether they're bent or straight, doesn't super matter. You're just going to do a few rounds like that. If you can, try not to use momentum. The more you use momentum, the less you're using your core. And what I'm trying to do is help us to build the strength in our core. Also, the more you press into your hands, the less you're using your core. Just to be aware, you may need to use them, and that is totally fine, but just so you know. Wherever you are, just do one more. And when your legs are out in front, see if you can do a rock and roll vinyasa. So you're going to come forward, bend your knees, place your hands in front of you, shoot your legs back, and then come down into chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. You can stay in upward dog for an extra couple seconds. You can shimmy your hips left and right if you want. That feels pretty good for me after I do core. And then exhaling, push back to downward dog. And now, whichever leg you had chosen as your bad leg at the beginning, or your less flexible leg, for me that's my right leg, take that leg to the sky, and then bring that leg forward. Bring the back knee down to the ground, and we're just going to do again what we did at the very beginning. So, straighten that front leg. You may want some padding under that back knee, by the way. If you want to fold over your mat, that works, especially if you're on hardwood. It'll be hard for you. Now, with that front leg straight, you're going to, again, just kind of slide it out in front of you. I'll tell you, either on hardwood or carpet, socks help this. They don't help the rest of the practice. They help you. Keep that back knee on the ground facing down. Try not to open the back knee out to the side. And then just see where you are. I'm hopeful you did a lot of work, so I'm hopeful you're a little bit deeper into this than you were at the beginning. If not, be patient with it. Keep trying. Practice, practice, practice. And also, today may just not be the day, you know? We can't control anything really in life, except our attitude. So just go with it, whatever it is. I'm going to stay here just a few more seconds. Blocks can help here too, by the way. If you have blocks on either side, then it's easier to keep your upper body upright. All right, go ahead and slide that leg back to meet your other one, and then just swap. Bring whichever one you thought was your better leg out in front. And now you're in the lunge position here. And again, you can fold up a mat or whatever you need under that back knee. And straighten the front leg. And then go ahead and see if you can get it out in front of you. Keeping that back knee down. Trying not to rotate that back hip open. I like to, so this is my better side. So it's sad for me that they're so different. But anyway, I like to sometimes use my hand on that back hip to push it forward. Try to encourage that back hip to be square. You don't have to do that, but I just kind of like to do that. The other thing I do sometimes is readjust and bring my front hip out to the side a little bit and rotate that back knee down a little bit more just to make sure that it's really square. If you're all the way down, you can bring your hands up. You can fold forward. You can grab that back leg. Whatever you feel like. Just a couple more seconds. Oh, the other thing you can do to help get it more square is you can place the opposite arm on your front leg and then rotate around. Just a little thing. All right, go ahead and bring that back leg gently. Or bring the front leg back to your other leg. Do a quick child's pose here. All right, we have time for an inversion. So whatever inversion you like to do, you can go with your legs up against the wall. If you're a beginner, I would do this because you're not going to hurt anybody, including yourself. You can do a headstand. You can do a handstand. You can do a shoulder stand. You can do a forearm balance. Any of these things. And I'm just going to stay here. Actually, usually I do something, but I'm just going to stay here. If anybody has a question about how to do any of those things, let me know. Like if there's something you're working on and you want a tip or something, just let me know. Sarah, can you try to use your hands to push your back up more? Yeah, see if you can walk your hands down. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Nice. That was a great adjustment. Yeah, and if you went into shoulder stand, plow is really nice to do right after. I like to, from plow, you know, once your back is warm, which ours are now, you're pushing your shoulders up and your back up off the ground, and then see if you can bring your knees next to your ears. And work on bringing your knees down to the ground. I like to do that. It's really good for the back. All right, for crow, just try to go forward. Your head is pretty, Sarah, your head is pretty down. See if you can keep your head up and go forward instead of down. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's scary. So you never know if you're gonna fall, but you don't have very far to go if you do. I think there's a couple other people doing crow. So crow, you just want to bring your knees as high up on your arms as you can. I'll turn to the side. So if you can get to here, then it's a lot easier. But even if you can't, even if your knees are just right above your elbows, you really want to suck your belly in as you come forward. And then just maybe lift one foot and then the other. But you gotta go forward. That's the tricky thing about it, because most people are afraid, reasonably afraid of falling. And so then you don't go forward. But if you don't go forward, you can never get the balance. It's the same thing for, they can probably say announce that. This one, I think we did it last week or the week before. So, like, if you don't come forward, your balance will never work. So, those are my words of wisdom. And the other thing actually is for crow is, actually for all these arm balances, is you gotta really like, that same action that we were doing in this lunge, where you're like sucking in and tucking, it's that same action that you have to do, because if you otherwise are relying on just like pure traction between the leg and the arm, you can do it, but it's not very stable. Whereas what I'm doing here, so here, I'll collapse. Right now I'm just relying on the weight of my legs to push against my arm. But this is really my crow, where I'm pushing my back up a little bit and I'm sucking my belly in. And that's what allows me to like take this leg off and then put it back, or to go up into other positions. So it's a lot of engagement of the core to try to take the weight off of the legs and the arms, if that makes sense. We can, it seems like people are into that. We can work on that next time maybe. All right. We are running short on time, so let's do a quick twist. So go back to your mat. And you can do this either with straight legs or bent legs. So let's just do, I'm going to do bent. So I'm going to bring my right knee into my chest, place my left hand to the outside of my right knee, and bring that right knee across my body with my right arm extended out to the other side, and I'm looking toward the right arm. This is be a gentle stretch of your back. And go ahead and come all the way back onto your back and switch your legs. So bring your left knee into your chest. Right arm goes to your left knee. Bring that left knee across your body and look towards your left. And go ahead and unwind. Extend both legs out in front of you. Just do one more rocking roll vinyasa and then we're in Shavasana. So cross your legs as you come forward, plant your hands, kick your legs back. Chaturanga. Inhaling to upward dog. Exhaling to downward dog. And then go ahead and jump or walk or however you want. Get your legs out in front of you and lay down in Shavasana. So you're laying on your back. Your feet are about hip distance apart, maybe a little bit more. Your arms are to your side. Keep your palms up. And your eyes are closed. You're cool, and I'm cool, and you're cool. So gently start coming back to your body and start moving your toes and your fingers. And you rotate your wrists and your ankles. And bend your knees. And come onto your side, cradling your head and your arms. And then whenever you're ready, push yourself up to a seated position, a comfortable seated position. Hope that you got something out of this practice. I hope it challenged you a little bit. I really appreciate your spending your time with me. It's such a pleasure to see you all. I do not do this kind of practice on my own. I need you all to motivate me. So thank you for that. And I'm grateful for you for taking care of yourself today. And I hope that you're able to do that the rest of the day and the rest of the weekend and be healthy and happy and good. So thank you. Namaste.